What it is, y'all? It is your old boy Pilk, and I'm coming back at you with more Danmachi. Now, today we're going to be talking about, well, the weekly data mines. And before we get into that, actually, I want to talk about there was a big update, and I mean a big update to the quality of life of this game, and that was with the latest app update. If you actually go into the App Store, the Play Store, whatever you got, and you do the latest update, you're going to get this. Now, notice this really doesn't look any the same. This is the same exchange that we have for all the tails, except notice none of the units that were purchased are chilling here because they're down here at the bottom. No more siphoning through tons and tons and tons and tons and tons of already purchased items. Now, just come in here, it's all done for you. It's all down at the bottom. You can focus on whatever's available at the top. That is super handy. Super handy. And long overdue, in my opinion. It was a quality of life update that I think we mentioned a couple times on stream. Didn't really think it was coming. I don't think they even had advertised it, but it's here now. Now, worth talking about, something they did kind of advertise and kind of not, is the skip button for SA animations. Now, I believe when we initially got this, we thought it was going to be an always skip or a never skip. I don't think we had the tap to skip option mentioned, but I like that tap to skip option. As much as I'm kind of like, I'm kind of on that in that situation where I'm like, I don't like skipping SA animations because A, they put so much work into them, B, they're so beautiful. But here's my kind of argument for this. Having tap to skip means you don't have to like always skip. You get an option. And we were last night on the stream in a situation where we're trying to get some last minute record buster runs out. And waiting through all those SA animations takes a lot of time. So we could just tap through it every time we get an SA and get to the end, get our numbers, and move on with the life. That could have given us an entire other record buster run, and I was just shy. And I mean, just shy of 600 million, which I don't know if that would have put me in the top 50, but it would have been a way better score than I had before, prior. So, you know, that was a make or break deal for me. Obviously, not really their fault. I did procrastinate and leave those runs to the end of the night, but I did that so we could do them on stream and stuff like that. So this is kind of like a little bit of a lifesaver, but that's a little gush. I like this. This is going to be in the settings, obviously, as you can see up at the top. These are going to be down in whatever tail exchange you're doing. Now, let's move on with the data mines. There's not a huge amount to talk about, but there's one thing I kind of want to discuss. And then we're going to start right here with the Winnie banner. Now, you do notice the first, 4th, and 10th draws are the only 4-star guaranteed, because remember that they're going to drop one on us. And if we go over here, we're going to get a free 11 draw as well. Now, this brings me to a really, really interesting question for y'all. Now, one thing we didn't talk about were all her stats. We didn't have this. I didn't actually have this display until after the recording yesterday. So let's talk about this today. HP 1366. I think that's one of the highest currently in the game. I think. MP is 115, which to me leaves a little bit to be desired, honestly. But magic is pretty decent at 494. Now, before you go, oh, I've got better in my bin, remember, this is before any CP. So let's do a little comparison here, all right? Let's do a little bit of a comparison. I'm going to pull up my album, go over here, and there we go. So I'm going to pull up my album. Now, I've already checked it out. I know the highest HP stat that I currently have is the Freya assist that we got before the anniversary, the one we got with Reijotaro. So she, I believe, is the highest HP stat I have, and she is only 1312 prior to any CP levels. Now, 1312, remember that, 1312 before any CP levels, 406 for both strength and magic. Now, with Winnie, and I'll go back over to Winnie here for a moment, Winnie's endurance stat is really, really high. Dex and agility, not so much, but that endurance stat is really, really, really high, and that kind of actually makes sense for her character. So, and a really good, not end-of-the-world stuff, but a really good magic stat. Now, if you want a good comparison for how good she's going to get, let's do this. All right, I'm going to jump back over to my game here. Now, Freya is 1312, Winnie is 1346, and She's 111 MP. Winnie is 115. Okay? Magic stat here, 406. Magic stat over there, 494. Higher magic stat. But that kind of makes sense. This phrase is kind of designed to be a little bit of all things. So I'm going to go to assist. I'm going to actually sort this by HP. Okay? Notice Freya is my biggest, baddest one. I don't think she's necessarily the best in the game, but she's really, really, really good. Alright? So, oops. Let's go ahead and just look at her stats. Bam. Now, after CP, she goes up to 1552. So, you can already kind of see Winnie is going to be even higher than Freya. I think that is, if not the highest HP stat, really, really up there. MP with Freya gets up to 161. You can expect something similar with Winnie. And again, my Freya is not even maxed out. My Freya is probably like level high 20s, maybe low 30s on all 3 units. So there's even some room for growth in here in Freya. Okay? This was, what, 406, and it's added 40 to that. So you can expect a double S stat in there out of Winnie. So she's going to be really good. Really good. Now, here's my question for you guys. I'm going to go back over here. So, her stats are fan-freaking-tastic. And once again, I think the highest HP we've had in the game thus far, at least as far as a base unit goes. I know if you go into your lists, there will be a lot higher, but what you need to do is you need to go in the album and look at numbers prior to CP boosts, because once again, we're also going to get 100 of her new CP item when that drops on Friday. So, she's not going to beat these stats. If she's at these stats after she drops, that's on you, not on the game. Use the new CP item, boost her up, get her going. We're going to get more Xenos, I feel like, and they're the ones that are going to use that CP item, but neither here nor there, guys. This unit, my opinion, and I'm going to start an argument here, and let's be civil in the comments section. I want to have the conversation in the comments, because we talked about this the other night in the Discord, and it got really heated. I feel like Winnie is free to play, and I'll explain why I feel that way. Let's go back over here to the DATAMINES for a moment. She is going to just be given to us. 100% she is just going to drop right in our laps on Friday when the anime finishes airing, okay? So we're guaranteed that one of her. Then we're going to get the free 11 draw. So you have the potential, not guaranteed, but the potential to pull 2 of them completely free to play. All right? Now, you don't need to do anything at that point. You don't need to summon. You don't need to, go crazy. You don't need to spend any Irish. You don't need to buy anything. You could throw Prism Bonds at her and upgrade her to Max Limit Break. And I think that's going to be worth. I think she's going to be a really great unit overall. Remember, at Max Limit Break, she does Strength and Magic 15%, 20% HP regen, and foes penetration rate minus 20%. I really feel like in this day and age, a Strength and Magic plus 20% would have been better. But for everything she does, I can't be mad about that. She's actually a really, really respectable unit. Though, if I'm honest, she's really more geared towards Wargame. The Strength and Magic 15% is going to be really good if you ever build like a combo Magic Strength team, which I do a lot. 20% HP regen will be handy, but not end of the world stuff. Because remember, that 20% happens at the end of a turn. It's not like a mid-turn heal. You have to survive the turn and then it gives it to you. So if you got someone like, Katori or who else? We got somebody recently in the anniversary. Artie. Someone that does like a death saving throw. That would then regen at that point after you survived, the critical hit. But only so good. Penetration rate minus 20% is strictly a wargame skill. But I digress. Going back to my argument, they're going to drop one on us. You can use Prism Bonds to awaken her. I feel like this unit is free to play. Personal opinion. Now, that is to say she's not a drop unit. There's a big difference. Drop units you can completely, freely, 100% max them a break. But also consider this. Her stats at level 1, level 2 are going to be absolutely beautiful in comparison to some of the drop units we've gotten. So I feel like them dropping this unit in the lab makes her free to play. That said, that does mean that Goblin Slayer and the Goblin Slayer collab, he was free to play. I would easily make that argument. The Ryu we got during 3rd anniversary, not the drop unit, but the one they dropped into our bins, I would argue she's free to play. That's my opinion. I think other free-to-play... And as someone who was free-to-play for a very long time at this game, I appreciated those units. Those were units that I could acquire that I wouldn't have to worry about. I could save my Iris. I could throw, prism bonds into these units. As we get, useless 4-stars that just do nothing in this game anymore. Expect that video out. I believe we're going to be recording that this weekend, but I will have to verify that. As we start getting some more of those units, if maybe you have Argo Max Limit Broken already, the Argo Bell Max Limit Broken, if you have him Max Limit Broken, then when the one drops now, at the end of the week, they're going to give you all 5 of those units back, and then you can, 6 technically, you can throw those into Dolb, and you'll be able to get, basically, you'll be able to go ahead and get almost pretty close to a Prism Bond there. So, my opinion, there's a lot to consider in regard to this. A lot to consider. But I really feel like she's free to play. Though, I want to hear the discussion. I want to hear the argument in the comments section, because this was heated the other night on Discord, and I want everyone to make sure you keep it civil. Everybody's entitled to their opinion, and I know there's going to be some differing opinions in the comments section, but I mostly want to hear from our free-to-play people too, because a lot of you guys, this is the stuff that's going to benefit y'all, not necessarily, the people that are just going to blow them. Because let's go back to this other, that takes me to the other thing I was going to talk about. 3 opportunities to buy her. This means they drop one on you. You do the first guaranteed. You buy the other 3. She's done. Walk away. I got what I wanted out of it. I got my Winnie, and I can save my free-to-play Iris. If you're a whale, that's most likely what I'm honestly going to do. I'm going to buy her and just max limit break her and save my free-to-play Iris for the next set of banners coming out. That is most likely how I'm going to handle this situation. Now, that is awesome. The fact they're giving us 3 times to buy this unit, they want us to max limit break her. And I feel like she is representative of the next level of units that are coming to the game. Now, once again, Strike the Magic 20% would have been a lot nicer, but the 20% meta is incoming. And that said, her HP is off the charts. We'll see. We'll see how it plays out. But I really like this unit. I think she's good. Not end of the world stuff, but very good. I'll talk about it on Friday when we get the... just before the gacha drops. I'll talk about that and whether or not she's worth using your free-to-play Iris on. I've got to consider that heavily before we go much further, but expect that video on Friday for absolute certain. Let's move on to some more topics here. Now, we did talk about the CP item. We knew we got this new CP item here. Yeah, we already knew that. She's going to drop on us. Not a whole lot to really talk about. We knew all this stuff. This is the ad for the new tail. That is going to be the PNG that's displayed in the game. And yes, we are getting, not a new tail, but the story event. Basically, if you're not familiar with how last year worked, I'll pull it up here again just for the visual aid. Last year, when they dropped every 2 weeks, or every week when they dropped another episode, they dropped 2 more Bell story events on us. So I feel like that's what they're going to do again this time. In fact, that's kind of what they said Monday on the live stream. So when we get new episodes, we're going to get 2 new Bell story events. Expect some of those bosses to be pretty hard. So in fact, I feel like there's going to be an Eyes boss. Spoilers. That's going to be insanely hard to beat. So we need to start preparing for that. And we'll talk about all those when they drop. Okay. We already knew this. Mega Valis quest is incoming. 7th Zone is back. Okay. That's kind of nice. Oh, the one thing we didn't talk about with Winnie, and it is worth noting here in a second, she is not time limited, so you don't need to go crazy. You can use Prism Bonds, not Star Bonds. This is going to be her quote. Just, why? Why not? I don't know. So if you ever see this come up in your general pool summons, she'll probably be added sometime mid-October if I had to just wager a guess. So if you ever see this come up, you got a Winnie. There you go. And that, in my opinion, is a Winnie. All right, moving on. More banners, more all this stuff. Valis quest. This is all stuff we knew. 7th Zone is going to be fire and light type this week. No telling whether this is going to be AoE or single target. I feel like we're probably going to go back to AoE. I get that feeling. We've had a lot of single targets for a very long time, and I feel like AoE is probably incoming again. But to be fair, we did just have a single target fire team up for grabs, so maybe this will be single target still. No clue. We'll find out tonight when it all drops. But that's pretty much it for the that's pretty much it for the data mines. We do have the PNGs for Winnie here if you want to see the unit that's going to drop. This is going to be, obviously, her art in the game. You kind of already figured that one out. You know, not end-of-the-world stuff. Just, you know, fun stuff. And kind of proof that she's going to be part of the story event. We've got her story event unit here. And, of course, all the little faces that are, going to be applicable to her. This is basically how they do it. They drop the one unit, and then they just exchange the faces for whatever reaction she's supposed to have. So, expect her to drop here shortly. Oh, that one's adorable. Look at that. That face is just a little fang. She's going to kill you. So, those are the data mines. Not end-of-the-world stuff, but fun stuff. And let me know what you feel. Do you feel like Winnie is a free-to-play unit? I kind of do. But I see the arguments for the other side because she is a banner unit at the same time. But I really want to hear from my free-to-play folks. Do you appreciate when the game does this? Do you feel like this makes them free-to-play? Or do you appreciate it, but you still feel like she's not free-to-play because you have to summon for her to get her? Well, you don't have to technically still, but, you know, you have to get prism bonds, and it can take a while. You know, let me know your honest opinions, guys, in the comment section. And, you know, I think it's a good discussion for the community to have because I really feel like these units are exceptional. So when they drop these summonable units on us, man, that is end-of-the-world stuff because, I mean, how many gacha games just give you like, here's the brand new unit to have it. Oh, and have another opportunity to pull her. Just completely free. Just go, have fun. That just to me is so amazing. And yes, this does mean that every Hestia in the game that we have currently is free to play because you could still, in fact, Danmemo just shared that on Twitter. That is still live. If you're new at the game, if you just started, every day when you log in, you're getting a new Hestia assist, which will help you out immensely. We are going to be getting the Argonaut Bell back, the very first bell they dropped in the game, 4-star at least. We're getting him with a big update. I'm going to talk about that in the video this weekend, but that does make him 100% free to play. There's no questions. He's 100% free to play now. So, just let me know you guys' opinions. I'm going to stop rambling. That's the video. Like, comment, share. I'm hyped. Let me know if you guys are hyped. I'll catch you all on the next one because we got more coming up, guys. And live stream tonight. Live stream at 10 p.m.